Greetings, my friends. Welcome back to Stark Raving. I'm your host, Lord Stark. No. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to You Know Who. I'm your host, the Reviewer. And with me today is my latest cameraman, Lord Stark. Hello, my friends. I am Lord Stark. Oh, really now? This is too much. I recently dropped Lord Stark off in modern-day America to host a Let's Play of Telltale's Game of Thrones, and it went swimmingly, didn't it? Oh, sure. If you call taking 8 months to complete a Let's Play of a 3-year-old game that attracted record lows of viewers swimmingly, then sure. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, Lord Stark has agreed to help me out as my new cameraman for an episode before we return him to his proper time and place in Westeros. So let's return to Doctor Who with our latest review of Doctor Who, Knock Knock. I'm not saying who's there. Oh, you're no fun anymore. There are enough puns on this show. Bill and her friend Shireen, along with 4 other students, Pavel, Henry, Felicity, and Paul, are looking for a place to live, but everything they see sucks. They meet an old man who has a fantastic, gigantic house to rent, although there is no entrance to the tower in the middle of the estate. They love it and sign a contract with the landlord. Oh, let me guess, he's the Time Lord of the Week. Don't be ridiculous, Jamie. What? What? You called me Jamie. Oh, I did? I'm sorry. Right. Pavel's the first to move in. As he plays his music, something happens and we hear him scream as the door shuts itself, thus setting up that this is a haunted house episode, where the Doctor and company find themselves in that place that looks normal if not slightly outdated, but then people start dying or disappearing in a mysterious manner. Similar to modern-day episodes like Hyde or The God Complex, or even classic episodes like Horror of Fang Rock. Although that's a haunted lighthouse episode. The TARDIS materializes around Bill's moving boxes. Inside, the Doctor brings up that he's a Time Lord, but blows off an accidental mention of regeneration. They land at her new place. The Doctor's surprised at the size of the place and decides to help Bill bring in her boxes, despite her obvious discomfort. She tries to pass him off as her grandfather, which is a nice callback to the first Doctor, who actually was an old man with a granddaughter. She finally gets him to leave, and Harry offers to help her get settled. They hear the music coming from Pavel's room, but Paul explains he just locks himself in there for days at a time. He then flirts with Bill, not picking up on her obvious lack of reception, before suggesting they throw a party that night. And don't expect much more character development than that from the rest of the cast. It's pretty much guy who likes Bill but doesn't realize she's gay, Bill's friend who does like that guy, scared girl, missing guy, and alternate companion. This isn't really a character piece. It's more about the mood and scaring the viewer. That night, the gang is talking about the strange sounds the house makes when they hear a rattling in the next room. They investigate. It's the Doctor. He never left. Everything in this house is old and out of date. The Doctor suggests they move, but they'll just call the landlord. Except he's already there. He mentions having a daughter and asks after the children, promising to fix any problems within the house, but it warns them again about entering the tower before leaving. The Doctor decides to stay and hangs out with Harry and Felicity, who are a bit creeped out. Bill again tries to get him to leave, but he says they should check on their friend who nobody has seen for a day. Paul again hits on Bill, but she, and you should pardon the expression, sets him straight. He's relieved there's a reason his mojo hasn't been working on her. He then freaks Shireen out with some spooky house noises before retiring. Bill finally picks up that Shireen likes Paul when the screams from his room become a little too real. They knock, the screaming stops, and they hear a knock back from Paul's room when suddenly the whole hallway bursts into knocking. Okay, that's creepy. There's nothing to worry about, Jamie. There! You did it again! You called me Jamie! Damn it, reviewer! I'm not Jamie! I need some air! Downstairs, the Doctor realizes the door outside has been sealed shut. The shutters have closed by themselves, and now the haunted house episode has merged with the staple of Doctor Who, especially the second Doctor era, the base under siege, where innocent people are all trapped in one location and the monsters are either trying to get in or the humans are trying to get out. We've seen this recently in episodes like Before the Flood, and classics like Tomb of the Cybermen. Felicity freaks out and runs into the kitchen. She manages to squeeze out a window before they seal up too. Outside, she sees all the windows shutting themselves. She starts to call the police when she backs into a tree. Inside, the Doctor and Harry hear her scream. Shireen and Bill enter Pavel's room only to find him carbonated into the wall. They go to turn off his record, but he moves a bit, leading Bill to wonder if the music is affecting this somehow. The landlord returns and stops the music. Pavel is swallowed into the wall. He says that Pavel is now preserved in the house. They signed a contract with him and it's time to pay up. He pulls out a tuning fork, hits it, and a scurrying sound fills the house. The women run. That mysterious tower should be at the end of the hall. They check a bookcase and Bill finds a release switch. They enter the tower's secret room. There's something alive in this house. The doctor puts his hand on a wood panel until a hole opens and a 6-inch beetle with glowing antenna comes out. He's fascinated by the obvious alien life form until hundreds of them start pouring out of the wood. They escape into a freight elevator. And this is where the creepiness ends, or at least changes. It goes from a fear of the unknown that was rather effective to a fear of insects which will affect people differently. But that's the curse of every haunted house story. Sooner or later you have to see the ghost. The doctor calls the bugs dryads, named after ancient wood sprites, since they're actually able to merge with the wood in the house. Harry prefers lice. Well, who wouldn't prefer lice to nubile naked women cavorting in the forest? Oh, you're back. Yes, I'm back. I get it, okay? You miss Jamie and are trying to replace him with someone who reminds you of him. You both are from Scotland. I'm not Scottish. I'm from Westeros. I'm from the north. Lots of Scotlands have a north. Why not admit you miss Jamie and ask him back? Absolutely not. Jamie walked out on me. Let him come crawling back. Let's get back to this review. Fine. Thank you, Jamie. Ugh. Bill and Shireen find a tiny bedroom. A woman's voice calls out for her father. Harry and the doctor find boxes of personal effects and a contract with 6 signatures, just like Bill and her friends. Going back every 10 years, 6 people come into the house and never leave. The landlord arrives. His daughter was dying until the dryad saved her. He's going to do what he must to keep her alive. Harry panics and gets caught in a staircase, literally. The landlord rings his tuning fork, and a swarm of the lice consume the boy. They advance on the doctor, but he offers to help the landlord's daughter. A woman emerges behind the screen with the world's worst dry skin and introduces herself as Eliza. She appears to be made out of wood as a bug crawls out of her mouth, which is a pretty effective and creepy effects shot. Also, the makeup on Eliza is good, but it's hardly the first wooden person we've met in New Who. Shireen tries to step on the lice, but it gets inside her, and moments later she's consumed by the swarm. Eliza glows for a moment afterwards. Admittedly, that swarming effect is pretty good as far as CGI shots go. The doctor and landlord arrive. He's kept Eliza alive for 70 years with these bugs. He found them in a garden unaware of their potential. The lice respond to high-pitched sounds. Left alone with her music box, they consumed Eliza. Bill notices that's strange. Why would a grown man show his daughter bugs? And since the landlord is not wooden, why is he not aged in the last 70 years? Bill's been mostly played as either scared or embarrassed this episode, so it's nice to see her get back into companion mode and pointing out things that the doctor has missed. The bugs have not kept Eliza's mind as sharp as her body. She's forgotten things. The landlord is not Eliza's father, but rather her son, doing whatever it took to keep his mother alive, even at the cost of other people's lives. Eliza's horrified at the cost. She only went along with this because she assumed that her father knew what was best for her. Dangerously upset at the doctor, the landlord summons the lice. The doctor pleads with Eliza. She's his mother. She must take control of him now. Eliza manages to control the swarm. The doctor tells her this is no life, hidden away from the world, and okay. Thanks for the obvious parallels to the doctor's current situation of being trapped on Earth. Capaldi is pretty good in this episode, but again, it's not a character piece, which is where he really excels. This is a mood piece relying more on atmosphere and environment. They finally open the windows and look out on a fireworks show in the park. Eliza tries to get the landlord to leave, live his own life, but he can't abandon her. He's going to kill the doctor and Bill. And this is the best acting moment from David Suchet, best known for playing Hercule Poirot. He spent the whole episode being menacing and mysterious. Now he gets to play a man with a child's emotions because, like his mother, he's been hiding from the world. He's never faced hardships or had to mature. So, like a child, when that rage comes bubbling up, it's not in proportion to the events. He's furious and lashing out at whatever has hurt him. Eliza stops him. It's over. Holding him close, he whines he doesn't want it to end as the lice swarm over them. Eliza thanks the doctor, and a moment later, mother and son are gone. The doctor and Bill start to leave when they see a hand sticking out of a bug swarm. The house is restoring her friends, and Shireen is alive. Bill, the doctor, and all the students run outside and watch the house disintegrate. Back in the vault, Nardle's checking on the locks and putting in his mandatory 5 minutes an episode so that Matt Lucas can collect a paycheck. The doctor is there with a lot of food. All for him, he claims. Nardle is checking the locks out, but the doctor abruptly dismisses him. He starts to leave when he hears piano music coming from inside the vault. The doctor put a piano inside? He won't say. And after Nardo leaves, the doctor takes his Mexican food and his tales of a house that eats people inside the vault to its prisoner. Well, this episode was very effective for what it wanted to be, an episode that scared you. However, I don't think it's going to go on anyone's best of Doctor Who list anytime soon. I give Doctor Who, Knock Knock, 3 TARDISes out of 5. Well, I think you'll enjoy the episode, but you'll be eager to get back to the status quo. Oh, brother, if that isn't a metaphor for your life. Well, I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Anyways, time for Time Lord of the Week. Today's Time Lord of the Week is my good friend, Michael. But you probably know him on Earth as... No, not the Toaster, although I did once suspect him of being a Cylon. He's called the Lovable Loser. Because he was in Chicago in 1907 and 1908 and saw the Cubs win the first 2 World Series and vowed that he would never leave Chicago until they won a 3rd, which, of course, is quite ridiculous because they could never. 2016 World Series champions? Come to think of it, we had a bet about a 3rd World Series.
If they ever won a 3rd World Series, you'd owe me $1.
Well, what's that in 2017 money?
About $25.
I don't have that kind of cash.
Then your butt and my foot have an appointment.
Jamie, help! Jamie!
No one here by that name, reviewer. Never come between a Cubs fan and his money. Well, my friends, we've come to the end of another episode of You Know Who. I was going to take off for Westeros, but I think I'll hang around a week, help the reviewer sort out his feelings, and get this show back on course. Until then, I am Lord Stark, and this is... Where's my sword? Never mind. This is You Know Who! Hello, everyone. I'm the reviewer. Would you like to appear on this season of You Know Who as a Time Lord? You would. Fantastic. Simply go to the Last Angry Geek's Patreon page, pledge the $10 level called Geek Lord, and send the geek a picture of yourself that you would like to appear on You Know Who. I'll come up with a Time Lord name and origin for you. But there are only so many slots available as there are only so many episodes of You Know Who for this season. So act now. Thank you, and good night. There's nothing to worry about, Jamie. End scene.